What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and oh my god, I don't even know where to start. So, I'm sure at this point you've all seen the trailer. Dragon Ball FighterZ for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC looks absolutely incredible. It's made by Arc System Works. It's a 2.5D fighter that features 3v3 fights, and here's the kicker, and there will be a closed beta coming for the Xbox One and PS4 before the end of the summer. A lot to talk about in this video. Let's get right into it. The first big question that you might have is whether or not this game's only going to be 3v3, and as of right now, I can't really answer that question. However, I do want to point out, which is kind of obvious because the trailer is right in front of you, it does start off in a 1v1 style fighting system. So I think what's going to happen is we'll probably get multiple modes where you can do 1v1 and 3v3. If you've ever played any game by Arc System Works, so stuff like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, or the Persona fighting game series, they really give us a lot of modes, from training mode to arcade mode to fight modes and stuff like that. And I would not be surprised if they have it like a 1v1 or a 3v3 or even like a 1v1 tag system featuring 3 characters. So again, until more details come out, it's kind of hard to discuss this. As of right now, keep in mind this is just speculation until I get further confirmation of whether or not this is the case. Just keep that up in the air, but it does seem that it's going to have multiple modes. Now, I'll point out, the past fighting games that Arc System Works has done has always focused on a 1v1 system. Games such as BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, and the Persona fighting series. So, I don't know if we're going to get just 3v3 or full out cycle, or if in fact what we're looking at right now in the beginning of the trailer is a 1v1 system with a tag team setup. However, later in the trailer, you will see that there's actually at the same time simultaneous 3v3 fighting. So until I play the game myself, it's kind of hard to figure out what the actual deal is with this. I don't know if when you're focused on the 1v1, the other characters you have on your team, they'll just fight in the background for like a background effect, or if those are simultaneous fights with like co-op or something. Until, like I said, until I play this myself and see it with my own eyes, I don't really have a word on that yet. So just be patient for that. We'll talk about that later. But let's talk about everything else. So the first thing I want to point out, there are dust attacks and there are instant kills. Now, I actually made a video the other day literally talking about instant kill because I had just picked up the most recent Guilty Gear game, and the way that game works is you have a special attack system where if you pull off the instant kill, which by the way is very difficult to pull off, you kill your opponent. Doesn't matter how much HP they have, if you pull it off, you kill your opponent. However, in Guilty Gear and BlazBlue, they make it extremely difficult to pull those all attacks off. But if you do pull them off, it's super flashy and cinematic and feels incredibly epic. And speaking of epic, those flashy attacks that you saw in the trailer, such as the Final Flash with Vegeta or the Father Son Kamehameha with Teen Gohan, are those instant kills that I was talking about. If you pull that off, you win the match, essentially. Freaking Arc System Works is known for these attacks, but keep in mind, they're not easy to do. Like, I want to stress really badly that they're not easy to do at all. In fact, if you get hit by those attacks, you should probably get back in the lab and figure out how to not get attacked, because those attacks are really slow. On top of that, you can only do them once per match. I'm not sure how it works in BlazBlue or the Persona fighting game series, but I know in Guilty Gear, if you do the instant kill motion and then do the actual attack and miss, you can't do the attack for the rest of the match, until the next round at least. So you only have one shot at it, which I assume they'll probably do something similar. On top of that, you know, for the whole balancing purpose, it's going to be somewhat difficult to pull off. So it's not going to be a matter of you know, pulling the stamina break in Xenoverse 2 and then doing the attack. Like, you have to do a lot before you can pull the attack off. On top of that, you can't start it off in the beginning of the match. So a lot goes into these instant kills, but when you pull them off, man, they're flashy and it feels so great, and I think it's going to add a really nice touch to this game. Now, if you're not familiar with what a dust attack is, it's something that's pretty much been around in the Guilty Gear series as well as Marvel's Capcom. I feel like Marvel's Capcom is one of the bigger ones where it's like a thing to do. Essentially what a dust attack is, it's a air combo starter where you knock someone in the air and then you do various combos in the air and try to do as much damage as possible. Like, this is what keeps those games super hype. Now, again, just like with instant kills, they're not easy to do. You're not going to be able to spam that day one. You're going to have to figure out the perfect timing, because again, Xenoverse, again, no offense to Xenoverse, Xenoverse is kind of like a very dumbed down casual fighting game simulator, whereas Dragon Ball FighterZ is an actual fighting game. You're gonna have to figure out the exact timing. If you slip up even by like half a second, that's it, your combo's done. So you're gonna have to really get in the lab and master all these attacks individually, otherwise you're not gonna be able to go online and spam those left and right. So keep that in mind. You have to actually learn every single aspect of this game with every single character. Now, the next big question is transformations. Will we see transformations in this game? And to be honest, at first I didn't think so, because a fighting game company like Arc System Works focuses more on the matches. In a match like this that goes super fast, you're not going to really have time to transform. However, I do want to point out that we see both Frieza and Super Saiyan Goku transform. Frieza goes into his golden form, and Goku goes into his Super Saiyan 3 form, and then they go at it. So, because of that scene at the end of the trailer, I assume that transformations will be in the game, and they'll vary from person to person, and it'll be kind of unique. And what I mean by unique, I'm talking about, like, you might not see a base Goku and have him transform to Super Saiyan 1, or cycle through transformations. I think it'll be limited to the characters you pick. And again, it's just theory, speculation. I don't know what's planned. So in a situation with Goku, you will pick the Super Saiyan form, and then his transformation will be Super Saiyan 3. With Frieza, instead of going into his buff form, he will go straight to the golden form. But again, this is a complete guess, speculation, and until we play the beta later this summer, I have no idea. Which, by the way, I have no information about the beta, but it's coming out later this summer, and when I get more details and dates and all that stuff, I will keep you guys in the loop. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and keep an eye on the information for that, because I'm sure everybody here just wants to play the game. The next big question is going to be roster. Will there be a bajillion characters in this? And to answer that question, honestly, and again, this is a guess, but I'm pretty much confident that this is going to be the case, it's not going to be a large roster. With a company like Arc System Works, they focus more on a smaller roster and really beef out the characters. I think at best we'll probably get like 30 characters, maybe 40 at max, and I don't know whether or not this is going to go into Dragon Ball Super or what the deal is. I mean, we obviously saw Golden Frieza, so I assume we can get some super characters. I know a lot of you guys want Rose, you know, maybe Zamasu, or even characters from the Universe Survival arc, but as of right now, I have no idea what's planned. In fact, because this game is still like somewhat right now in development, I'd be surprised if they have Universe Survival arc characters due to the fact that that arc is just now happening, and we have not even got to the fighting yet. So I feel like with those characters, once again, they might miss it just due to the window, but maybe Rose will be in it just because he's already been out for a long time and they kind of know what to work with. So again, as far as the character roster, to be honest, do not expect a very large roster, but then again, I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Just know that that when it comes down to actual fighting games such as, you know, Street Fighter, the Tekkens of the world, or the Guilty Gears, they don't focus on a huge roster, but instead they focus on a much smaller roster that are way more in depth than other games. But once again, until I get actual information, it's kind of tough to tell what they're working on. For all we know, there could be a lot more. But again, don't be surprised if the roster is a lot smaller, because that's how it actually is in other games. It's actually a blessing that, you know, in Xenoverse we got like 100 characters and all those variations. In a game like this, don't expect that. I'm going to say it right now. And as far as customizations, usually with these kind of games, all we get are color swaps at best, and that's just about it. But I don't think there's going to be anything fancy as far as, you know, like what Tekken has, where you can customize what outfits you have and stuff like that. This game, like I said, is hardcore for fighting game fans, the fighting game community, and it's going to be fun to play. I'll just say that. It's going to be a lot of fun to play, but it's going to be a lot different than what we've gotten a lot in the past couple years. However, in the long run, it's for the better, for the much better. I mean, think about this. When this game initially leaked, the fighting game community got excited. That never happens. When it comes down to fighting games and anime games, we're kind of like looked down upon. It's like, oh, here comes the casual community. These guys think they know how to play fighting games, when in all reality they don't. That's how the fighting game community looks at anime fighting games. And the fact that now we got those same people excited for this game shows you the direction that we're taking as a community as a whole. So if Dragon Ball FighterZ does as well as I think it's going to do, which I think is going to do really well, I can see doors open for many games. I mean, imagine a competitive Naruto game, or a competitive Bleach game, or a competitive insert your favorite anime here game. Like, this could have so much of an impact in the future, and if they do it right, if everything falls in place, this is going to cause our community to grow so much more at a crazy level that I'm just super excited about it. So what do you guys think? If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below, but remember, I might not be able to answer everything. I pretty much know as much as you do, and it's based on everything that we saw in this trailer. So ask away. One last thing I want to mention is Funimation is listed at the end of this video, and at the end of this trailer, and I don't know if that was just because by default you have to list Funimation every single time you talk about Dragon Ball. However, my theory is because Funimation is listed, that this game most likely will get dubbed, but I can't confirm that. I mean, another big question whenever new games are announced is will it be dubbed, because this trailer was obviously in Japanese, and the second question is what's the roster, will there be transformations, yada yada. But I don't know any of this stuff. Once I find out, I'll let you guys know, so kind of just stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you're new here, and I will keep you guys in the loop. However, everything else we talked about that you saw in the trailer, I feel comfortable in answering, so feel free to ask any questions you have about that down below. So that will be everything. So Dragon Ball FighterZ, early 2018, PS4, Xbox One, Steam. And by the way, I know a lot of people freaked out because it was shown during the Xbox conference. I'm actually surprised that Microsoft got a chance to show this off, because you would think that Sony would have the exclusive rights for that. But that does not mean it's exclusive to Xbox. Xbox just got a chance to break down Premiere, which was kind of weird. It is going to come out on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam all at the same time, so don't worry about that. One final thing, if you want to prepare for this game or kind of understand what this game is going to feel like, I highly recommend Guilty Gear Rev 2, or even Guilty Gear Rev 1. Guilty Gear Rev 1, I believe, is like 20 bucks on PSN and Xbox Live. I think on Steam as well. Guilty Gear Rev 2 is more recent. I think it came out last May, so that's around 40 bucks. But both of these games play pretty much like this game plays. So, you know, from my experience playing this game in the last couple of days, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and it will greatly prepare for you for what Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to feel like in early 2018, or I guess end of the summer. So check those games out. I'm sure there's demos as well, so look them up, and it'll give you a good experience of what to expect when this game comes out. With that said, I'll see you guys in early 2018. Well, technically, I'll see you guys tomorrow in another video, but when this game comes out, I'll see you guys in early 2018. unless you're doing the beta, in which case I'll see you guys in the beta. Basically, anytime Dragon Ball FighterZ pops up, I'll do my best to make a video on it and uncover it. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at Rhymestyle, follow my YouTube channel, subscribe down below, and I'll keep you guys in the know of everything that you need to know about this game. So that's everything. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let's discuss it down below. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Rhymestyle. I'm super hyped. If you are, hashtag DB Hype all over the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.